Hare Krishna. We are reading Bhagwat Geeta as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are in chapter 11 and we are on text 44. Yes. You are the Supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father, as a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done you. Let's read the purport. Krishna's devotees relate to Krishna in various relationships. One might treat Krishna as a son, or one might treat Krishna as a husband, as a friend, or as a master. Krishna and Arjun are related in friendship. As the father tolerates, or the husband or the master tolerates, so Krishna tolerates. Let's move to text 45. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Let's read the purport. Arjun is always in confidence with Krishna because he is a very dear friend. And as a dear friend, he is gladdened by his friend's opulence. Arjun is very joyful to see that his friend Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and can show such a wonderful universal form. But at the same time, after seeing that universal form, he is afraid and he has committed so many offenses to Krishna out of his unalloyed friendship. Thus, his mind is disturbed out of fear, although he had no reason to fear. Arjun therefore is asking Krishna to show his Narayan form because he can assume any form. This universal form is material and temporary, as the material world is temporary. But in the Vaikuntha planets, he has his transcendental form with four hands as Narayan. There are innumerable planets in the spiritual sky, and in each of them, Krishna is present by his plenary um, manifestations of different names. Thus, Arjun desired to see one of the forms manifest in the Vaikuntha planets. Yeah. Of course, in each Vaikuntha planet, the form of Narayan is four-handed, but the four hands hold different arrangements of symbols. The conch shell, mace, lotus, and disc. According to the different hands, these four hands are held in the Narayans are variously named. All of these forms are one with Krishna. Therefore, Arjun requests to see his four-handed feature. Let's move to text 46. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. Let's read the purport. In the Brahma Samhita 5.39, it is stated, Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan. The Lord is internally situated in hundreds and thousands of forms, and the main forms are those like Ram, Narsimha, Narayan, etc. There are innumerable forms, but Arjun knew that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, assuming his temporary universal form. He is now asking to see the form of Narayan in spiritual form. This verse establishes without any doubt the statement of the Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead and all other features originate from him. He is not different from his plenary expansions, and he is God in any of his innumerable forms. In all of these forms, he is fresh like a young man. That is the constant feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who knows Krishna becomes free at once from all contamination of the material world. Yeah. Let's move to text 47. No, so this universal form is still said that it is a material manifestation. Okay. Let's move to text 47. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjun, happily have I shown you by my internal potency this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. Acha. They are saying that this happened in the material world. That way they are saying, okay. So universal form is universal form having the material planets as well as the spiritual planets in it. Okay. Let's read the purport. Arjun wanted to see the universal form of the Supreme Lord. So Lord Krishna, out of his mercy upon his devotee Arjun, showed his universal form, full of effulgence and opulence. This form was glaring like the sun, and its many faces were rapidly changing. Krishna showed this form just to satisfy the desire of his friend Arjun. This form was manifested by Krishna through his internal potency, which is inconceivable by human speculation. No one had seen this universal form of the Lord before Arjun, but because the form was shown to Arjun, other devotees in the heavenly planets and other planets in outer space could also see it. They had not seen it before, but because of Arjun, they were also able to see it. In other words, all the disciplic devotees of the Lord could see the universal form which was shown to Arjun by mercy of Krishna. Someone has commented that this form was shown to Duryodhan also when Krishna went to Duryodhan to negotiate for peace. Unfortunately, Duryodhan did not accept the peace offer, but at that time, Krishna manifested some of his universal forms. But those forms are different from this one shown to Arjun. It is clearly said that no one had ever seen this form before. Yes. Let's move to text 48. O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world. Imagine. Arjuna is like so lucky, and I don't know what he must have done for winning the mercy of Lord Krishna. Let's read the purport. The divine vision in this connection should be clearly understood. Who can have divine vision? Divine means godly. Unless one attains the status of divinity as a demigod, he cannot have divine vision. And what is a demigod? It is stated in the Vedic scriptures that those who are devotees of Lord Vishnu are demigods. Vishnu Bhakta Smrato Daivaha. Those who are atheistic, that is, who do not believe in Vishnu, or who recognize only the impersonal part of Krishna as the Supreme cannot have the divine vision. It is not possible to decry Krishna and at the same time have the divine vision. Yes, one cannot have the divine vision without becoming divine. In other words, those who have divine vision can also see like Arjuna. Yes. The Bhagavad Gita gives the description of the universal form, although this description was okay. Yeah. Although this description was unknown to everyone before Arjun, now one can have some idea of the Vishwaroop after this incident. Those who are actually divine can see the universal form of the Lord, but one cannot be divine without being a pure devotee of Krishna. The devotees, however, who are actually in the divine nature and who have divine vision are not very much interested in seeing the universal form of the Lord. As described in the previous verse, Arjun desired to see the four-handed form of Lord Krishna as Vishnu, and he was actually afraid of the universal form. In this verse, there are many significant words like Veda Yagna Dhyayanai, which refers to studying Vedic literature and the subject matter of sacrificial regulations. Ved refers to all kinds of Vedic literature such as the four Veds, that is Rig, Yajur, Sam and Atharva, and the 18 Puranas, the Upanishads, and the Vedant Sutra. One can study these at home or anywhere else. Similarly, there are sutras. I just mark this. Can we get this kind of picture somewhere so we can even read these also? So there are four Veds, yeah, and there are 18 Puranas, and then there is Upanishads, and then there is Vedanta Sutra. Yeah. Similarly, there are sutras like Kalpa Sutra and Maimamsa Sutra for studying the method of sacrifice. The Danai refers to charity which is offered to a suitable party, such as those who are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. Yes. Similarly, pious activities refer to the Agnihotra, and the prescribed duties of the different castes. And the voluntary acceptance of some bodily pains is called tapasya. So one can perform all these, can accept bodily penances, give charity, study the Vedas, etc. But unless he is a devotee like Arjun, it is not possible to see that universal form of the Lord. But from Bhagavad Gita, we understand that the impersonalists are not devotees. Therefore, they are unable to see the universal form of the Lord. Yes. There are many persons who create incarnations. Yes. They falsely claim an ordinary human to be an incarnation. But this is all foolishness. We should all follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita, otherwise, there is no possibility of attaining perfect spiritual knowledge. Although Bhagavad Gita is considered the preliminary study of the science of God, still it is so perfect that it enables one to distinguish what is what. The followers of a pseudo incarnation may say that they have also seen the transcendental incarnation of God, the universal form. But that is unacceptable because it is clearly stated here that unless one becomes a devotee of Krishna, one cannot see the universal form of God. So one first of all has to become a pure devotee of Krishna, then he can claim that he can show the universal form of what he has seen. Right. Because if he's not the pure devotee of Krishna, then there's a big doubt that he must have seen it. A devotee of Krishna cannot accept false incarnations or followers of false incarnations. Yes, correct. Let's move to text 49. You have been and perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. Let's read the purport. In the beginning of Bhagwat Geeta, Arjun was worried about killing Bhishma and Drona, his worshipful grandfather and master. But Krishna said that he need not be afraid of killing his grandfather. When the sons of Dashratha, tried to disrobe Draupadi in the assembly of the Kurus, Bhishma and Drona were silent, and for such negligence of duty, they should be killed. Krishna showed his universal form to Arjun just to show him that these people were already killed for their unlawful action. That scene was shown to Arjun because devotees are always peaceful and they cannot perform such horrible actions. The purpose of the revelation of the universal form was shown. Now Arjun wanted to see the four-armed form and Krishna showed him. A devotee is not much interested in the universal form, for it does not enable one to reciprocate loving feelings. Yes. Either a devotee wants to offer his respectful, worshipful feelings, or he wants to see the two-handed Krishna form so that he can reciprocate in loving service with Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes. Let's move to text 50. Yeah, this is the last, then we will close. Actually, 51 is also small. Let's finish 51. Okay. Sanjay said to Drashatra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjun, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjun. Let's read the purport. When Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, he first of all appeared as four-armed Narayan. But when he was requested by his parents, he transformed himself into an ordinary child in appearance. Similarly, Krishna knew that Arjun was not interested in seeing a four-handed form. But since Arjun asked to see this four-handed form, Krishna also showed him this form again and then showed himself in his two-handed form. The word Saumya Vapuha is very significant. Saumya Vapuha is a very beautiful form. It is known as the most beautiful form. When he was present, everyone was attracted simply by Krishna's form. And because Krishna is the director of the universe, he just banished the fear of Arjun, his devotee, and showed him again his beautiful form of Krishna. In the Brahma Samhita 5.38, it is stated, Premananjana Shurita Shurita Bhakti Vilochanena. Only a person whose eyes are smeared with the ointment of love can see the beautiful form of Sri Krishna. Yes. Let's move to text 51. When Arjun thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature. Yes. Let's read the purport. Here the words Manusham Rupam clearly indicate the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be originally two-handed. Those who deride Krishna as if he were an ordinary person are shown here to be ignorant of his divine nature. If Krishna is like an ordinary human being, then how is it possible for him to show the universal form and again show the four-handed Narayan form? So it is very clearly stated in Bhagwat Geeta that one who thinks that Krishna is an ordinary person and who misguides the reader by claiming that it is impersonal Brahman within Krishna speaking is doing the greatest injustice. Krishna has actually shown his universal form and his four-handed Vishnu form. So how can he be an ordinary human being? A pure devotee is not confused by misguiding commentaries on Bhagavad Gita because he knows what is what. The original verses of Bhagavad Gita are as clear as the sun. They do not require lamplight from foolish commentators. Yes, great. Let's end here with Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Let's do some Radha Jap. Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha.